you sipping on, shorty? What you sipping on? What you sipping on, dog? What you sipping on? What you sipping on? What you sipping on? LA water, California's harder.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's good? Welcome to Drop Your 3 Cents. I'm your boy, Third Degree. We got Quez in the house. We got our lovely guest, Jessica, in the house. How you be?
Yes, sir.
What's up? I see you just over there with this vibing.
Hey, you know, that's the first time hearing the new music, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Denisha says like the next episode of Martin and the new season. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Now that was the vibe right there. What's going on, y'all? I see y'all got y'all little matching Lakers jerseys, all this shit.
Kobe Day.
Who do you think you are? You know
Kobe Day.
A true Lakers fan. That's who I am.
You look like a snitch. Look like you're ready to tell on somebody right goddamn now.
Make sure you send stars. If you guys are on Facebook, if you want to be a guest, I got the link pinned into the comments. Just go ahead and hit that. But just remember, if you're coming on, this is a production. So if you're using your phone, make sure you use your headphones. It will work as a microphone. Please subject yourself to one spot where it has good Wi-Fi. We don't want you choppy. We don't want you in cars. We don't want you in restaurants. We don't want you doing none of that. No eating, no drinking, no smoking. You know, well, you can drink, but none of that other extra shit. It's going on now.
Get off the show. Shit.
Right.
My drink.
You know, we clip this and it goes all out to all over the world. So, yeah. I don't know if I missed anything. Oh, tonight's episode is going to be a really controversial one. This may be one for the ages. So, you know, we can agree to disagree. Just know that we have to disagree respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to stray away from the negative stuff, the hate. You know what I'm saying? You can definitely see a different point of view or not agree with some, but you don't necessarily got to, you know, be a bigot about stuff, you know? So
yeah, there will be no hate. Just know that.
But make sure if you're on Facebook, hit the share button. Make sure you're sharing this out. If you are on YouTube, thank you. The YouTube subscribers have really been on. As a matter of fact, before the show even got started, there's someone in the comments dropping stuff, and we're gonna we got every
player was going ham in the comments before we even
we'll show some. So, but yeah, even though there's some misinformation going on there, you know what I'm saying? But Tish, are you ready? You good? D, where are you at? If you're on the resort, I don't want to let you on.
Damn.
Are you on the resort?
She said just let her on. That's what it looked like.
I don't, like I said, we're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. We don't want to look, you know, shitty.
Bring them on up, man. We good.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, Tish?
Hey. I was saying backstage because you couldn't hear me. I was like, if Dee wants to come on, bring her on. Don't matter if you have to resort or not. Bring her on.
Bring her on up.
This is what we want to project out to the world.
She looks stable to me.
She's part of the panel, and she has something to say. It doesn't matter where she is. Let her say
right. What you hating for?
Damn.
And I was like, get your back on the Lakers. You need to take the Lakers jersey off.
Damn.
Wow.
Take the jerseys.
I mean, you gonna hate. Like he a Celtics. Like he really shady in that Lakers jersey. Just move him to the side, bump him off the bench. He's not getting on the court tonight.
He not even in the game. You just go kick him right off the bench.
She said you're not playing the game.
I was trying to hide the monitor, but I can't figure out how to move this thing.
You're not going to be able to hide any of that unless you're not on.
I know, right?
Hey, we can see you.
They can bust me all out.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
I'm bored.
All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into some ratchetness, y'all. Let's get into some ratchetness since we already here.
It's your boy Third Degree, and I'm back with more ratchet news. Well, let's start this thing off right by saying happy Kobe Bryant Day. Today is 8/24/24, year of the Mamba. And so, yesterday was Kobe's birthday. Today's his actual day. I wish I was in LA right now, with the statues, but, I'm here right now with y'all. But I'll probably go check them out tomorrow, when it's less crowded and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? So, but on to some ratchetness. Let's start off some ratchetness by getting into some politics. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. suspends 2024 campaign, will support Donald Trump. Yeah, he's weird because I think his father stood for everything that Donald Trump is against, but his siblings then released a statement. Kerry Kennedy released on her social media said, "We want an American filled with hope, been bound together by shared vision of a brighter future, a future defined by individual freedom, economic promise, and national pride. We believe in Harris and Waltz. Our brother Bobby's decision to endorse Trump today is a betrayal of the values that our father and our family hold most dear. It is a sad ending to a sad story," and signed the remaining children of Robert F. Kennedy. So what they're essentially saying is he's not like us. Moving on. Judge dismisses felony charges against 2 former officers charged in the death of Breonna Taylor. Rules Breonna's boyfriend's decision to fire his gun as the legal cause of death. In what the F news, this is some bullshit. Moving on. Juvenile exit American Airlines plane after being forced to move from first class to coach. So essentially, the American Airlines crew told him to back that ass up out of that first class seat into coach, and he was not having it. So he backed his ass up out of that damn plane. I don't blame him. Moving on. Queen of Salsa Celia Cruz makes history as first Afro-Latina to appear on a U.S. quarter. That is dope. Salute, salute, salute. R.I.P. Moving on. Jordan Childs keeps bronze medal as Romanian gymnast receives her own. It's about time they did right by her because that wasn't even right at all. So, moving on. Fans are still boycotting Brian McKnight. Some of his shows are being canceled, or they won't even go to his shows. One user says until he does right by his real kids, everything he does is going to fail. They didn't put the rip on that boy, so he ain't going to be back at one on no stage no time soon. Moving on. Marlon Wayans blasts DJ Vlad for saying he's not worth $40K for an interview on Vlad TV. Man, this whole thing has been confusing. Marlon Wayans is dope. He's an exceptional actor, so I think he should be paid what if he's worth. But $40K for an interview, I think it's a little much, bro. But get what you're worth. But DJ Vlad had. Moving on. As September is approaching, just remember September is Take a Man on a Date month. And based on our last live or our last show, I believe that there's going to be a few women who are not going to be taking no man out on a date in September. Moving on. Father upset because mother thinks it's okay that their 16-year-old is pregnant. Mother defends her daughter saying she got pregnant herself at 15. This is going to be an interesting one. We shall have a topic on this on a future show. Moving on. Speaking of injustice, Crystal Kaiser, the woman who killed her alleged sex trafficker when she was a teen, has been sentenced to 11 years in prison. For what exactly? Someone has to explain this one to me because it makes no sense. But we'll dig into this on a future show too. Moving on. Man is going viral for looking just like 50 Cent. He looked just like him, right? Moving on. A man tested his date by saying he left his wallet at home, and this is how it went. Long story short, he said he left the wallet at home, so by the end of the day, she got up and left. So, no love. But we talked about this. We're going to talk about it some more again, but moving on. Talk about that old thing back.
Ashanti and Nelly named their son Kareem Kincaid Hayes. So salute and shout out to them. Welcome. Moving on. And then thirstiness. A man goes viral after he spent $2,000 on his first date with his new boo. She only gonna be there just for his wallet. So as soon as he go broke, she gone. Moving on. Katherine Jackson's attempt to stop the $600 million sale of Michael Jackson's music catalog denied by judge, which is really, really sad because he was trying to leave that for his kids. But, I think maybe that was the plan all along, for the powers that be to get a hold of that catalog. But moving on. But speaking of Mike, comedian Lunel wants to know why nobody had the balls to ask the Jacksons how Michael Jackson had white kids. Ignorant. We'll probably talk about that in another show too. Moving on. Sexual assault lawsuit against ex-NBA star Dwight Howard is dismissed 10 months after he was sued for allegedly forcing the man into a threesome in 2021. I mean, that's good for him, but the disturbing fact of the matter is that court documents revealed that the judge dismissed the case with prejudice, meaning that the lawsuit cannot be refiled with the same allegations. The judge ruled that the encounter between Howard and Harper was consensual and that no assault occurred. So, essentially, he's just a freaky ass nigga, 69 guy. Time to move on. Speaking of freaky and weird, Gabrielle Union claims she began pleasing herself at the age of 5. Like, why did she feel the need to disclose that? Like, why? It's just, Moving on. Speaking of which, Sean Diddy Combs reportedly helped Elon Musk purchase Twitter. New court docs prove, which is kind of weird. You helping the ops, bruh? What does that say about? Moving on. I got to be man enough to say I clowned Tyrese last week about the beard looking like Marvin Gaye and whatnot, but he went on Breakfast Club and gave one of the realest, dopest interviews. He got emotional, cried, says, when men go through a miscarriage or a divorce or whatever, nobody checks on the man, and we hold that up, then he just let loose. I feel him on that, man. I salute you, and much props to you for just going out there and speaking up against, for men's mental health, man. We're going to talk about that some more, but salute to Tyrese. That was a real good interview that he did with Breakfast Club. Rock Nation launches Rock Nation distribution, enabling independent artists to retain their masters. I'm looking for a new distributor myself, so I might have to see what's up with Jay because I like his business acumen. So we'll see. Moving on. Fellas, this is Sexy Red without all that foolishness. So I got one question. Would you? Moving on. Last but not least, Nipsey Hussle's album Victory Lap has now overstreamed 1 billion times on Spotify. So shout out and salute to one of the GOATs, Nipsey Hussle. The marathon continues, man. And that's all I got for y'all. Enjoy the show. Anyway, I'm your boy Third Degree, and that's been your Ratchet News. Enjoy. What's good, y'all?
What's good?
Interesting stuff in there.
Hey, Melvin.
Boy, if you don't.
Hey, what up? What up?
Sir.
Wow.
Sir,
Your
again,
captions be something, I'm telling you. Every week it's something else.
They have to tune in to see what's next.
All right, y'all. Make sure you guys are hitting the like and the share button. If you're on Facebook, hit the share button. If you're on YouTube, hit the share, subscribe, and notify button. You guys got anything you guys want to add on from the ratchetness?
No,
that was good.
I think you pretty much covered it, sir.
That was good.
There was some good stuff in there.
All right.
Definitely was some good stuff in there, man.
Just Blaze got the Kobe.
Let us know what topics y'all want us to touch on.
Before we get into it, before we get into the topics, so we
and my nail.
It says Kobe Day, so salute to Kobe. We got 3 topics tonight. Welcome to the After 40. And so we got 3 topics. The one, Sheryl Lee Ralph kicked up some dust saying that the 40 plus crowd should address people as their pronouns as they want to be pronounced or whatever. Also, I didn't have time to clip it up, but Kirk Franklin kind of stirred it. He was talking about accepting his gay son, I believe. But then also, that leads into acceptance within children and within the church, because people have kind of, August Alsina has tried to tie in God and finding love and all this other stuff. So why do people distort their stuff with God and the Bible? So we're going to talk about that. And then, we got the DNC that happened this week. Kamala Harris set it off. Jasmine Crockett was a hit, saying the Obamas were a hit. Hillary Clinton, surprisingly, I'm not really a huge fan of Hillary, but she was a hit. It was cracking. It seemed like it was a well put together concert.
Yep. Entertainment.
It's very interesting. It kept my attention. I've never watched
the entertainment value was high. You know what I'm saying? That was better than the BET Award.
And I watched
it was better than the BET Award.
And I think that's exactly the point of it, because if you watch the RNC one, that shit was dry. That shit was horrible.
It sure was dry.
It was hard to stay awake during. You're like, with the DNC, you're like, what's gonna happen next? Is Beyonce gonna show up? Is this? It's like, why not? And it appeals to the younger crowd. Like, today's politics ain't 1972 politics. It's completely different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be the last topic, right?
I know you want to say something.
That's gonna be the last topic. That way I can.
If you want to come on, you can come on. It's not about me. It's about you. I'm trying to look out for people. You know what I'm saying? Like, again. So I got to reiterate to the folks. We are on Facebook. This isn't like a Zoom call where we're just like, hey, we're Zooming amongst friends. We're being projected out to the world. So this is on Facebook, where I got 5,000 people, 7,000 following me. Quez got followers. Tish got followers.
I got like 20.
Followers.
I got like 20. So
YouTube. I got a few thousand subscribers on YouTube. But also, like I told you, you may have missed it, but we are now going to be on Spotify and Apple Music. So this is going to be projected out. This has potential to be projected out to billions of people. So I'm trying to look out for folks. I don't want folks in here looking like a certain way and the integrity of the show. But if you feel like you're okay with that, then that's okay. As long as you're in a nice, quiet spot with some good Wi-Fi and we can hear you, that's cool. But, if you want to be projected out to the world where, the Diddies and whoever else, billionaires may want to look at you, then, hey, that's by all means.
Why we start there? No.
I'm just saying. What up, Sheryl? We all over the world. We worldwide. Is that what I'm saying? We worldwide. We got people in Japan, Thailand. We worldwide.
You know what I'm saying? All the Diddies out there, you know what I'm saying? Third looking
we
for
already know how he feel about Diddy. Yeah.
Third looking for a new distribution deal. You know what I'm saying? So
he done already said before how he felt about Diddy. So we're gonna let
can't
you
stop, won't stop.
Diddy.
Yeah.
Man, take that third.
No, you didn't look bad to me. I'm just saying, if you want to be presented out to the world, then that's you. That's your prerogative, as Bobby Brown would say.
Bad boys.
So, Quez, you already know what to do. You know what to do, Quez.
What's the word of the day, Third?
In light of dealing with everything that we're dealing with today, the third word for today is acceptance. The action of consenting to receive or undertake something offered. Also, there's another breakdown. The action or process of being received as adequate or suitable, typically to be admitted into a group. So, with that being said, I mean, in today's society, it's crazy. We're looking for a certain form of acceptance, whether it's amongst our own people, whether it's amongst our quote unquote tribe, whether it's amongst our friends. So, some of the things people do as far as like trends or certain things that are just popping for within the moment. Bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, people look for a form of acceptance, whether it's even within dating, you know what I'm saying? Like, men are looking to be accepted by women, so they splurge money and they lack, whether it be game or whether it lacks substance, you know what I'm saying? Women, you know what I'm saying? They're looking for acceptance, on Facebook, YouTube, IG, TikTok, OnlyFans, you know what I'm saying? They're looking to get their money, but they're looking to be accepted based off what their look. So there's a lot of forms of acceptance that are going on, and especially with dealing with today's topics, I think it ties in perfectly with what we're talking about as far as acceptance. So, hey, Glad Bammer, what's good with you? What up? What up? How you doing? YouTube people. I've been getting a lot of YouTube subscribers, so what's good? What's good? So the Facebook crowd, if you want to come on, the link is in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Just tap the link. Make sure that when you come on, again, that this is a production. We're going all over the world. So, make sure that you're near some good Wi-Fi. There's not too much motion going on in the background. If you're using your phone, it will work as a microphone. So please use your headphones so you can cancel out the noise in the background. So with that being said, let's get into it. Which topic do we want to tackle first, Dr. 3 Crew?
It don't matter to me.
Hey man, yeah, we're gonna have to leave that DNC for last, man.
That I already had planned on doing that. So go ahead, Tish. What'd you say?
No, I said because at the last topic, I'm putting my finger up and I'm walking down the aisle to the back door.
Oh no, you got to sit. Hey, look.
Nah, Miss Ruffin, you staying. At first, I see. Otis can make you stay. You can't leave the Temptations.
Because I can click leave studio.
I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. If I have to beg and plead.
It's not working, sweetie.
I don't mind. It means that much to me. Ain't too proud to
What's
beg.
up, Jamal? I was like, what? He said,
right.
Where's the game?
But tackle the one that has those layers to it.
Well, first off, I got to say something. So for the person who attacked Tisha or said something like Tisha's ignorant or dumb for voting for Kamala Harris, your mama got like 6 titties in the form cap.
Who said
you know what I'm saying? So I don't know who said it.
It's a Facebook. I mean, it's a TikTok trend. If you go through, a lot of people are doing that with that dang Pennywise clown. Talking about, yeah. So I did it.
I was having your back over here for a moment.
No, because I don't normally publicize who I'm voting for because I don't want to have discussions like that on my Facebook. So I normally don't post things like that. So
he said, "Tish, come sit with me, girl. There's room and snacks."
Snacks. That's the key word right there. Snacks.
There we go. There we go.
Lucetta, what's good with you? Make sure you guys are hitting the share button. So, I think we're gonna tackle just so we can get into it. Sheryl Lee Ralph says that, the 40+ crowd must accept people for who they are and use the proper pronouns. And I have a clip of what she exactly said.
Hey, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Listen, this message is for those of you who are of a certain age, over 40. Some of the things you used to do and say when you were young, they're not going to work right now. Okay? These children right about now, they want to be called by their name. They want to be respected with their pronouns. Now, I know it might be hard for some of you to say, hey, Apple, how you doing? It might even be more difficult for some folks when maybe they don't look like a he or a she to you, but they want to be called they, him, or her. Call them by their name. Please don't call them out of their name. You know how you get when people call you out of your name. Don't do it. All right? Just try.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
We know you don't. Look at your name.
It's common courtesy, though. It's just like, hey, call me Mr. This person. Why would I call you Mr.? I only call this person Mr. Like, if somebody wants to be referred to as something and you want to oblige them and you want to be courteous, I don't see the big deal.
So, hold on a second, Quest. So I agree. Saying respect is respect, and people. But
we call you third, but that's not.
Well, hold up,
please don't call
Mr.
him
$20,
right?
Yeah,
hold on,
we
Mr.
call
$20,
but that's not on his birth certificate.
You gonna rip you a whole new one?
No, actually,
that other name.
Actually, third is on my birth certificate.
So there's a 3 and then an RD. There's a 3 and then there's an RD. It says
no,
third.
it's Roman numeral 3, but still says the same thing. But see, the point of what I'm getting ready to try to make though is that yes, my name is Edward. So when I go up to people, never ever have I ever been introduced myself as Ed or Eddie. But yet and still somehow people feel away and they, hey Ed or hi Eddie, and I'm like the funk. I never introduced myself as that. It's either Edward III or you call me by my last name. So I get that, but the thing about that though is that you won't know that until you actually talk to me. So again, if you see me, you see the chocolateness, you see the bread. I am a man, so you're gonna address me as hey sir. How do we know what to call you if we're not talking with you? If we see that you look like a woman, then we're gonna call you a woman. If you look like a man, we're gonna call you a man. And for me, it's just one of those things to where, like, and she used the analogy of, hey, Apple or Mr. Apple, whatever. But, okay, so if you have a banana coming up saying, hey, I identify as an apple, but clearly they're a banana, then.
Well, it's obvious. Like if you say hey, you like hey, what's going on? Oh, I don't know your name. Okay, what's your name? Oh, it's this, my pronouns or whatever. Then it's just obliging them. But like you said, if somebody just comes up to you and be like, hey Eddie, you're gonna be like, don't call me Eddie. My name is Edward, or I prefer to be called this. There's it. You're telling them what you want to be called. So many people are named. Their name's Robert. They're like, call me Bob. I don't know how we got from Richard to Dick to Bob to Robert, but come on now. Do you see how they're not even close? But people are like, no, don't call me Robert, call me Bob. Don't call me this, call me Dick. It is whatever people's preference. If you want to be courteous, if you want to be an asshole, then that has some old negative history when they called black people boy. Oh, you're a boy, right? You have the genitalia of a male. You could be a boy. I'm a grown man.
It's different.
Oh, so
it's
call
different.
you man? Or okay, man. You're just. But do you see? Some people don't want to be referred to as other things. They say, don't call me that. Just call me whatever I want to be referred to as. And it's up to you to oblige them. It's not. There's no rule in that.
Okay. Can I jump in now?
Go for it.
Okay, so I mean, I like that you tried to equate it to something that we can resonate with, but they're entirely two different scenarios.
Of course, they're different. But
you know what I mean? So not to conflate the issues. And let me preface my statement with, I don't care what you want to be. If that's your thing, that's your thing, right? Like, the whole problem that I see with these scenarios is people who don't subscribe to your lifestyle and way of living are now being forced to participate in the charades, to me, right? Like the fact that she let off with people over 40, you should refer to these children. And I'm not referring to if my son wants to be Spider-Man, I should go let him jump off a building to see if the webs come out. Like this is the shenanigans we're talking about. It to me, right? This is my personal preference. You know what I mean? At 5 years old, 6 years old, my son wants to be Sonic. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna let him go run on the freeway to see if he could beat a car. You know, there's a responsibility as a parent, to okay, I encourage you to believe the things you want to believe until it becomes dangerous. And when we're telling children that, it's okay that you want to be an opposite sex, and then we start referring to them as such, and then mutilating genitalia and things of that nature, and hormone blockers and stuff like that's where y'all lose me. You know what I mean? If you want to encourage your child to be what it is they feel they want to be, I have no problem. But you can't make me accept it at my house, right? That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's my whole issue. You guys can do whatever you want out there in the world, but over here, you know what I'm saying? Boys are boys and girls are girls. That's just how so you need to have the same common courtesy when I say, okay, I appreciate that that's how you feel, but over here, this is what we do. So I'd appreciate if you wouldn't try to transpose that onto my children. That's my whole issue with the statement. And
I can understand that. I agree with you when it comes to children. Obviously, you're not going to let them play in the road because they decide they want to be a car for the day or whatever. It makes sense. But at the same time, I grasp the concept of what people are trying to do. It's trying to identify themselves and how they want to be seen and who they are. When it comes to children, you're a parent. You have every right to look out for the well-being of your child. If you think that it's going to save your kids to put them on hormone blocker, save them from suicide, then that's between you and your family and your child to decide. That's not for society to decide. That's not for anybody else to decide. It's just like if you feel like putting your grandparent in the old folks home because they're a danger to themselves. It's not for anyone else to decide. It's for you and your family to decide. And I agree with that. And I also agree with no one should be able to be forced to be like, you have to call me this. That's when the conversation stops. If you want to have a reasonable conversation, if I'm saying, hey, call me Mel, and you're like, no, I'll call you nigga, then we ain't talking no more. Then it's the same thing. It's true, because you already said you don't respect what I want to be called. So why are we even communicating? Why is there a conversation going? Because obviously we're on two different sides. Unless we have to work together and we have to communicate, then there's obviously going to be a conflict. And so if it's just casual, then it's like, no, if you don't want to budge, then I ain't gonna budge. Then that's when things get disrespectful. So I agree with Quez on a lot of different levels. It's just
right.
It's everybody has their preference.
What are your 3 cents on it?
I've already said before that I have no problem calling anybody by whatever pronoun they want to be called. We all have pronouns attached to us. You're a he, Quez a he, I'm a she or a her, Melvin's a he or a her. I mean, not her, him, whatever.
Shit.
Yeah,
Damn.
so my bad.
Damn.
But I'm just saying, I don't have a problem with it. And I don't even see it as truly, I have no problem with any of it at all. So I'm very accepting of their lifestyle. But I'm saying, to me, it's like if I talk to you and I give you the wrong pronoun and you politely be like, you know what, I would rather be called they, I'm going to call you that. Because it doesn't even have to me, it doesn't have to mean that you accept their lifestyle. It's just a form of respect. That's how I see it. That's other than that, and all the extra stuff about, what Quez was mentioning or whatever, to me, that isn't, that's their lifestyle, but it doesn't equate to what they want to be called. I will respect you and call you whatever pronoun I have no problem with it at all. And I would hope that you would respect me as well. If, instead of calling me, a lot of people say Latasha when my name is really pronounced as Letitia. Like, if I tell you this is how I want it pronounced and you continue to, mispronounce my name, we're going to have an issue. And that's how I see it on the other end. If you're telling me that I want to be called him when you're a her, and I keep telling you, no, I'm going to call you this, then there's going to be an issue. And there's no need to be a conflict. If I personally felt like I couldn't call you that, then like Melvin said, there's no need for us to continue communication because it's only going to turn into a fire. So just politely excuse yourself. But other than that, I don't have to pick fights that I don't. To me, it's not a fight. I will respect you.
Yes.
For me, I agree with Melvin and Quez. As far as respecting someone on what they want to be called, that's cool. I like how Quez brought in the kids aspect as Sonic, because when I want my son to be fast, he gonna be Sonic. But there are times and places for him to be Sonic. You know what I mean? And as far as like they, them, all that, if they want to be called that, I'm gonna respect them because, like Edward said, or like Third said, sorry, I call him Edward or something else. But anyways,
she said daddy. She said not so many words. She said daddy.
Yeah,
he likes to be
called certain things.
Oh,
so
she
I
said
respect
daddy.
that.
She likes to be called daddy.
This isn't Monique. This isn't Monique and Sydney over here.
Third daddy. Third daddy.
Yes, daddy. I said, you may speak. Yes, daddy.
Dog's gotta eat.
So yeah, so I respect what he wants to be called. I've never called him Ed or Eddie, not once, because he already expressed to me that he does not like that. Like for me, a lot of people straight up call me Jessie as a nickname. I don't like that, So I will express to them that I don't like it. I don't see a problem with anybody else expressing how they want to be addressed. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like Quez said, in my house, my boy is going to be called a boy. My girl is going to be called a girl, because it's my household and I can do whatever I want in my household.
Well, damn. Go ahead. Some of that 77 rubbed off on you. Over here at Candyland, what I'm saying?
But you also got to remember too that these children that are going to school are being exposed to all of this.
Which brings me to my next point. So, So I mean, you're right. So it's definitely a new day and era where we're talking about acceptance, and again, it's a matter of respect and saying dignity and all this other stuff. But I mean, for some folks like me, I have serious questions. You know what I'm saying? Because again, isn't this confusing two children who are impressionable who are coming up? You know what I'm saying? Like again, like Wes was saying, the best analogy is like, hey, I back in the day, I used to think that I was like, He-Man and Popeye, and I used to do the character voices and everything. But in reality, was I really He-Man? Was I really Popeye? And so when you start looking into the anatomy of a body, especially of a body, I have some concern because again, if you have a boy believing that they're a girl, do they start believing that they can have cycles like women? They start believing that they can give birth like women.
But if you have
understand what I'm saying, like
if you have a person with a flat butt that gets a BBL, then they start believing they really never had a flat butt.
But I'm not a fan of BBLs myself.
But
you know what I mean? Like
a person that was flat chested and all of a sudden they turn 18 and then get breasts. Like they didn't have that.
So again, it's a matter, and I know Tisha's going to feel me when I say this. It's a matter of what's real versus what you feel. So again, I mean, so what is real versus what you feel, and I mean, again, so it's a matter of respect because again, you got to get again, like Melvin was saying, I don't want to be called the NIGGER word, you know what I'm saying, and I have a name, but at the same time, you wouldn't know what I like to be called unless you get to know me. And then just from the outside looking in, and especially if it's something that's going against the norm. So is that wrong for people to assume when they go with the norm? And again, just because, again, what if I one day wake up here, I feel like I'm Chinese. And you look at me and clearly see that I'm smooth chocolate, but I'm nowhere near Chinese. I mean,
but
I think real versus what you feel?
The world's always transitioning and always changing. And so new things come about and we have to get used to new things every time.
So two picking that real quick because I have another clip.
Dressed before.
No, so two picking that because I have another clip because it goes into perfectly what I'm saying as far as what is real versus what you feel and confusion. So listen to this and then we can go into it.
There's probably one other job that you're about to get into that is really hard and really scary. You're about to be a mom. How is that feeling? Pops. Oh, let me get it together.
Pops.
About to be a pops. Please tell me how exciting that is for you and what you're looking forward to most.
I'm super excited. Well, I mean, I guess I'll just drop it. He's here. So he's here. Yes. 7'8", 7 pounds, 8 ounces. Yeah, that's my man.
I love that.
He is amazing. They say, as soon as you see him, it just like everything that you thought mattered just goes out the window. And that's literally what happens. It's kind of sucks because I got to leave, but at the same time, he'll understand.
Expect.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So, Miami, forgive me for being ignorant, but, also allow me to play advocate. So, Brittany Griner is a female by birth. But again, she chooses to identify as such. So now they bring a child into this world with two women who are in a lesbian relationship because again, they're two women. One has a baby, and again, there's no biological ties for Brittany because she's not a man, but she feels like she is a man. So now they bring this child into the world, and now the child has to call this woman Pops. When clearly, hold up, because clearly when we know father to be a male, father is not known to be a female. A female is equated to being a mother. So does that present a problem? Does this cause confusion within the child within a child's psyche?
Well, two things. You got to make sure you tell that to a lot of females on Father's Day when they think they're fathers too. Just throwing that out there because
I do.
Yeah. So secondly,
that was a damn good point.
Secondly, when you look at Brittany Griner, she had a mastectomy and removed her breast. She looks like a male. You can't if you looked at her, she looks like a young NBA player in the NBA. So the child is not really going to be confused. Like some of us are confused if she is a woman or a man. So when we're making these excuses, and kids adapt, and they're so resistant and resilient. And so for us to keep making these excuses on our own prejudice and our own bias, because we're the ones saying that. The kids, you don't hear a kid be like, I don't understand that's, and if they do, they still think that there's chocolate milk. They still think a lot. They don't understand shit. They're kids for a reason. And so you help them and guide them, and you bring it in, usher it into the new world. So we as adults need to stop using our kids as an example or as an excuse for our own prejudice. And that's the point I'm making.
Well, go ahead, Mr. I'm not gay, but $20 is $20.
Okay.
I'm just saying, again, good. So,
wait, to answer your question too, it's when those comments are made, it makes it seem like because they're gay or lesbian, they don't have a way to communicate to their children what a female is, what a male is.
Do they?
They do. These are human beings, and they're.
I'm just asking. I'm not saying. I'm just
going off of what you said, because we are assuming that they're not having these discussions, and that we're leaving them to think that that they don't know a difference. I follow a TikTok, Instagram person, 2 dads, 2 sons. That child knows that he has 2 fathers. That child knows that they're both men. That child knows that they could not produce them, that he was adopted. That child knows a lot because they sat down when he was age appropriate, and they discussed that with them. So for us to assume that they're not having these discussions and these children are growing up confused, as what you said, is not necessarily true in every case. It's really not.
Don't check the chocolate messenger. I'm just playing advocate, and this is something.
I'm expressing it because you're not the only people. You're not the only person who felt or expressed.
So like Quez was doing last week. I'm asking the questions of the people because these are things that come up.
Don't steal my role, player. You know what I'm saying? No square.
But to play triple advocate, as what I am. That again is one household. So yes, you're right in the sense that we cannot assume that people are not having these conversations, because clearly there are some that are. But what about the ones? What about the ones who really truly feel like they are boys? You know what I'm saying? They be walking around like, what up, my nigga, what up, my nigga? You know, and acting like they are such. Do they have these honest conversations with their children? And that's the thing, is that we don't know. That's all I'm saying.
And then why are we so invested in other people's households?
That's what I was going to say. It's not none of my business. It's not none of my business.
So you're right, Tish. I'm going to play advocate, and I'm going to piggyback off that. What's up, Project Slam Chicago? I see you. I'm not ignoring you. We're just in a tight conversation. So my thing is like this. So just like how Quez said, what if this person, if you have a household, they're saying, hey, I want to be Superman today or whatever, and I'm gonna go jump up off of a building, and you put it in this kid's head to where
I'm not liking y'all scenarios.
I'm just saying.
Not liking them. No, I'm saying I don't like liking them because they're not matching up to me.
But think about this.
They're really not matching up to
my argument.
Hey, you want to know something? You want to know something?
There's a lot of bad analogies tonight.
I looked around, and you know what? I tried to find a funk to give. Now, the thing about it is that, so one of the things is I hang out with Jess's son, and he believes that he's one of those little ninja Sonic. He believes that he's the what you call it, the Beyblade and Dino King. Yeah. So when we're play fighting and in the scenario of a real fight, he's going Dino Raptorosaurus. He's doing all the stuff that they do, and he tries to go in a real fight versus what you feel. He really thinks that he's this because he sees this
because he's a child
in the moment. But I'm just saying, in the moment. So, but in reality, if he was to get into a fight, by the time he gets to the third one, he done got his ass knocked out, right? And so I'm just saying.
But whose responsibility is to let him know what's real and what's fake? Yeah. It's the parent's responsibility.
It's up to his.
Yeah, but it's also the parent. Like, how long were people believing there was a Santa Claus until you was told there was no Santa Claus? Since we're using these weird analogies, right?
Yeah, my 12. Kids make it far.
Yeah, more.
But listen,
I think it's. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. No, Quez. I talk a lot. Go ahead.
No, well, because my thing is like there has to be equality on both sides of the field, right? If we're saying that as adults we can't press our biases on the children, we also can't press lifestyle and societal norms on these children. And that's always been my issue with this topic, right? Like I don't care what you do as an adult when you go inside your house and do whatever. And I really don't care what you do with your kids until they come over here fucking with my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, the truth be told. Because, you know, I teach my kids what I teach my kids, you teach what you teach them. And if there happens to be a conflict of interest, 9 times out of 10, my kid's gonna whoop your kid's ass. And that's what I taught them, just being realistic. You know what I'm saying? That's what we preach over here. But, you know, it's the notion that we have to start accepting societal norms when we know they're wrong. Like there's no reason on God's green earth why children should be learning about sexual preferences, all these different you know, genders and all these acronyms and whatever you want to call it. We didn't have sexual education until middle school, high school ages, right? With age appropriate. Honestly speaking, we were not in classrooms talking about sex in kindergarten, bro. Stop lying.
We had
now.
We had the sex ed version of this is a boy, this is a girl, this is, and the defining factor, laying down the foundation of sexual ed.
But it wasn't instructed in the portion of this is a major factor in your life. You know, and for another one of those analogies that Tisha hates so much, you know what I mean? When it comes to children, the same thing is true. Like these kids don't know about race and the difference of you being black and you being white until one of you adults press that upon them, right? They just know they're kids, they having fun, they want to play. The same thing is in the realm of sexual orientation and preference, right? These kids don't know nothing about, you know, I got a penis, you got a vajayjay, unless you guys are having those conversations way too early because they have to explain why there's a grown man with a beard and a dress on. You know what I mean? And you can have those conversations, but it shouldn't be had to, well, you know, would you like to wear a dress too? Do you feel like, you know what I mean, you want to be a girl? Like those are not conversations we should be having with children. And there's way too many examples of it online, offline, in real societal issues. But you know what I mean? And that's my problem.
Hold your thought real quick, Melvin.
Do what you do.
No doubt, man. Good points. So Project Slim says, there's a few comments I got to read. He says, what happens when the child wants to know who's the real dad is? There's that. Noelani says, I don't see a problem. I have a niece and nephew, and they have 2 moms, and they understand very well. They were talked to at an age where they understand and not confused. No, and again, I get it. I get it. You know, there's some households who are, you know what I'm saying, who do. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm not saying that they're not, but what about the ones who don't? And so again, it's just one of those things.
But my thing is,
real quick, I'm gonna let you get to it. I got one more. Alexandria, what's good? Welcome back. We hadn't seen you in a while. Where you been, girl? Where you been? Literally, they're too young. Gender norms exist whether people want to acknowledge them or not. And if God forbid my son asks me if he can wear a dress or something else reserved for women, I'm telling them no. Period. I don't know what he feels like today. He has sisters. I will tell him boys don't wear dresses. You know, and
but
again, it's your prerogative. I get it. Your household, you know.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, it's a societal thing. If you look, and this is documented, the first probably I think 15 to 20 presidents all had pictures of them in dresses. You know why? Because that was a societal norm at the time to dress little boys in dresses. Things change all the time. Look it up.
societal norm to hang niggas from trees. But that doesn't
things
mean
change,
we should accept it.
and things change. So we may think, and you can ask the white people that were hanging niggas from trees. They thought it was a right thing to do. They thought it in their bones. It was the moral thing to do to
So
kill
we
a
should just
thief.
accept it, right?
So no. Some
Okay.
things. My point is, just because we feel it doesn't mean it's right. Just because you think you're right doesn't mean you're right. Just because society says it's right doesn't make it right. And it goes back to our own families. Whether we want to expose them to that, whether we want them to be kids as much as possible, so we don't tell them about racism, so we don't tell them about gender, so we don't tell them about rich people, poor people, the homeless. Not too many people are telling their 5-year-old, hey, look at that homeless crack addict, blah, 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 blah. No, they don't talk about it. There's certain things that kids can't comprehend. And it's our job as parents to decide what's right for our family and what's right for the kid to comprehend. And then touching on the point of the kid's going to get confused, that's not true in most cases with adoption. It didn't happen with Jamie Foxx.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Simone Biles, the greatest gymnast alive. Her biological mom doesn't even, she's trying to reach out to her now after winning 8 goddamn gold medals. The biological mom's now. So you're telling me the woman that raised her paid thousands of dollars to put her in gymnastics, ballet, all those things that they sacrificed, don't love her the same? Nah, get the fuck out of here with that. That's stupid. Foster
But
parents
that's
have
not
the
what.
same love. But no, you're saying, how would they know? Sometimes people out of your family love you more than your own goddamn family.
Well, that was never my argument, sir.
No,
'cause
I'm not saying that. I'm not talking. I wasn't
Yeah,
referencing you, Quez. I'm just saying
Right,
I wasn't
right.
referencing you.
But I'm a big proponent of you can't hate the gay out of these people, right?
No.
Like
Very true.
I'm a big proponent of that. Like just because you don't agree with it doesn't mean you can ostracize and hate these people.
Exactly. I'm with you on that
Come
one.
over the head with Bible quotes and shit. That ain't gonna change nothing, right? And that's where a lot of people, no matter what their affirmities may be, the traditional church going people have always thought it was best to just beat you over the head with Bible quotes and ostracize you, which hasn't worked and it still won't work and it's never gonna work, right?
Baby.
But you know what I mean, you can love these people, but my whole thing is there's a societal norm now that if I don't accept what you got going on, then I get punished because I don't agree. And that's my biggest issue, right?
Well, yeah.
Like
We're
I
on the
can't
same team there.
I can't punish you because I
Right.
say, I'm a Christian heterosexual male and you being gay upsets my spirit. So let me cancel you. But as soon as I say I don't agree with, men having sex with each other, blasphemy. You know what I'm saying? And you do the same thing from the people that you shun for their bad behaviors. You can't take the worst of the traits of the people that ostracize you and pass them back on to the people who are not participating because you don't like it. And that's my problem with just saying, oh, we should accept society as we go forward. No, it stand on your square. If that's what you feel like you got going, stand on your square, just like I got to stand on my square as a black man and say, no, you going to respect me, whatever room I walk into. But even if you don't, I have the option to remove myself from that room. Maybe I don't need to be here. Maybe I shouldn't be fucking around with y'all. I'm not going to show up every day and try to burn your business down because you decided not to serve me a chicken sandwich. I'm going to just say, hey, man, fuck that store. And I'm going to keep it moving because there's plenty of other people that like chicken sandwiches and don't give me one. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, we're gonna go into the comments real quick. Jamal says, "Oh shit, he brought up the trees." Well, you brought up the trees, Quez. Cheryl says, "Boys and girls wear christening dress." Not me. Jamal Gladden says the societal norm is to be a sheep, and I am not a sheep. I feel you. Just being D says, "Not my son or grandson at their christening was a short set." I feel you. Alexandra Knight, still good to have you back. This is the most sensitive society has ever been, and you're not allowed to disagree. 100%, I agree with you on that one.
Every society going forward.
Cheryl says, "Why do gays need to tell us they gay? Just be gay and do you."
They used to say, "You can't hang black people anymore. This is the softest society I've ever lived in." Like, come on now. What the fuck are we talking
You
about?
one of them, huh?
What are,
Man.
but it's
You one of them.
progression.
But those-
You can't
those-
beat your wife anymore. You
So
can't
here's
beat
the
your
thing.
wife. You can't drink and drive.
Being
Jesus
gay is
Christ.
not the same equivalent as hanging from a tree, though, and
But-
that is
but-
always.
but being-
See, listen, everybody that goes through some bullshit want to attach themselves to the black struggle. You didn't did it, Melvin. I was
but
trying to
every-
say
yes, I sleep with
don't
Quez on this,
do
but hold
that.
up. Hold
They're
up,
not
Melvin. Get
the
your
fucking
issue. Hold up,
same.
Melvin. Get your issue.
They
You
are
can
not
rebut.
the
You can
fucking
rebut.
same because we didn't have a voice or a choice in those options, right? You know what I mean? It's okay if you want to be gay. I can't show up and be my black original self in 1865 and say, "Hey, well, what's going on, good people?" You know what I mean? You could walk around gay all day and nobody would give a fuck. You know what I'm
Until they
saying?
see
You
you
can go
do
to
it.
every restaurant. You can date whoever you want to date.
That's like you
can
could go
fuck
anywhere
somebody
you want.
in
but don't
whatever
get black
job
people.
Let you
field
rebut.
that you want to, but to keep trying to equate the notion that you are suffering as the same as slavery is ridiculous to me.
My
Nobody's
favorite.
out here chasing
I
down
agree.
gay people in the streets, bashing them across the head because they gay. Nobody's doing that.
my
Let's be
favorite-
Actually, there is.
Yeah.
My
There
favorite
is.
thing.
It
There
might
is.
not be
My
as
favorite
much,
thing.
but they were beat up and everything for loving who they love.
My-
Well,
my
because some
favorite
people,
thing-
I'm
some
not
people.
saying-
Hold on.
Let me respond real quick.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you respond. So the thing about it though is, I was with you, Quez, 100%. But the thing is, there's some gays who are out there who are openly flamboyant, and you can tell that they're gay. That definitely have been shot, killed, or ostracized because of the fact that they're gay.
Yes.
So,
has
but
happened.
hold on. So Melvin, go ahead and rebut.
marginalize the whole
my
community.
point, my favorite thing is when religious people, especially people that go to
Oh, we're
church,
getting ready to get into that next.
yes, religious people will quote and hyper analyze and hyper focus on one set of the Bible when they're living in sins them damn self. And according to the Bible, if one sin is weighed the same, then if they're all weighed the same, then what are we fucking talking about? So you're out here lying every fucking day. You're out here doing all this other jack shit, but you're judging somebody else, which is another sin. So then please miss me with the bullshit of, oh, they're living in sin. So are you.
I absolutely
So it's like,
agree with that.
if you're not
Right.
the righteous person walking with God, not judging anybody, reading your good book every day, following everything else, then we all need to shut the fuck up, because it says right there, one sin is not. If you're having sex out of wedlock, if you're having kids out of wedlock, if you're living with somebody out of wedlock, if you're talking down, judging people, all the list goes on, the litany of rules in the Bible. If you're not following those things, then don't judge somebody else because they fucking somebody else.
Melvin, you kind of strayed away from my point.
But
is
it's
that we
but
can't compare the two, and I'm so tired of that.
The
No,
point
you're
is,
right. So hold on.
I
So
wasn't
Melvin,
saying it was apples and apples. I was just saying that is an example. Everything is we can reference
I
it.
completely agree with
especially
you on that basis.
right.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
So Melvin, believe it or not, brought in a perfect segue. And before we get into the next topic, because now we're about to talk about a gay acceptance between children and church. And now we're getting ready to talk about church. So before we get into that, saying here goes something right here for us right here. Yeah.
You're wasting time, wasting lines.
Is it drop your 3 sneaky links?
The DY3. So Tisha infamously said, but did you die? So again, we have drop your 3. So D, drop, Y, your 3 cent merch. So you can go to kingthird.com and get your DY3 shirts. And we also have one coming in production, but did you DY3, which, Tisha was so graciously, and contributed to that. So yeah, go to kingthird.com and get your merch today. Or you can go to dropyour3cent.com and get your merch.
Mhm.
So with that being said,
with you saying that, it made me realize, because sometimes I remember seeing the comments, I'd be like, happy birthday, young king. And people would be like, don't call him a king. That's so stupid. And they get mad at young Black people referring to themselves or want to be known as kings and queens. And so I'm just saying I'm not equating the two, but everything can be referenced for this particular podcast that focus on African Americans, African American struggle, our community, and everything else. We can relate to all those different things.
Quick backstory. The reason why I call myself king is because my pops, the father that stepped in.
No, but
say it, Quinn.
The reason I call myself Apple.
I'm giving a backstory.
The reason I call myself Apple is because I was the apple of my father's tree.
We got David Ruffin and we got Eddie Hendricks over here.
77% of my genealogy.
No, because again, it's one of those things where again we were taught that we were told that we came from this, we came from the jungles, we came from whatever. I used to walk with my head down. My pops used to hit me upside my head and say, walk with your head up. You're a king. And so even when I said that, it's funny that you say that, Melvin, because I would say like, yo, king, I'm a king or whatever. I had white people to tell me, you're not no king. And essentially, that's essentially where we came from. So I purposely say king third because that's what I am. That's what I know myself to be.
But that is what you identify, and like,
so you should respect it, Melvin, and shut your ass up.
Mother sucker. Actually, mother sucker. I got the paperwork to prove that I'm actually a prince. So y'all can kiss my royal black ass.
I've heard so many people say I'm a prince.
Y'all can kiss my royal black ass in Cameroon.
In
Cameroon,
so many people.
I'm
so
good.
many people.
Y'all
They're
can
like
kiss my 77%. Ash.
I'm a prince. I'm a prince, but I'm unemployed. How are you a prince and you're unemployed? You live at your mom's house. What the hell?
So again,
but you broke.
So Kirk Franklin came out and was basically talking about his I guess his bisexual son, talking about accepting him and stuff like that.
Well,
so again,
war in the comments, ain't y'all? I see y'all.
Hold on a sec.
What happened?
So I need to refresh on these comments real quick. Alexander Knight says the alphabet community is not nearly marginalized as the Black community. There's no comparison. Please stop. There's more effort to combat hate against the community while racism is rampant. I feel you. Alexander says he who is without sin cast the first stone. Agreed. D says preach, Melvin. Great point. Example. Jessica Lynn says it was not a choice. They were mentally broke down and fear was instilled into them. And there are so many who escaped slavery.
Choice of what?
Oh, I guess she was going back and forth with Melvin. Not Melvin, but Jamal.
Oh.
I don't believe that either. It was sarcasm. Yeah, because it's something stupid that Kanye has said. Okay, so yeah. So the funny thing is that now we're talking about Kirk Franklin and him accepting his gay son. There's been people calling him out because he's a Christian pastor. And then at the same time, there's been people who have used Christianity to justify their homosexuality, saying that, hey, it's right within church, it's right within God, this is how it's made. So this is a pastor.
People are idiots.
Right. So here's a pastor right now. Hold up. So here's the clip.
A leader as a man, as a father, as a husband, as a pastor. He took both me and First G, my beautiful husband right there.
This man is Oliver Clyde Allen, who calls himself a bishop, a member of the Rainbow community, married to a man. You heard him say that he was consecrated into the office of a bishop by Carlton Pearson.
I'm not even here as a bishop, though he consecrated me to the office of bishop. As a leader, as a man.
Even the camera fell over. I'm sorry. Okay.
I don't see the big point. Okay.
Well, because again, so we're talking about Christianity. You had brought it up about Christianity and homosexuality. So again, now we have a pastor who is a homosexual man who has a first husband, and this is something that's being accepted. So now we're talking about
that man is more than a pastor. He's
but
a bishop, which is a big difference.
Is he closer to God than you and I?
Who knows? Apparently
probably not. So that means he ain't no better than either one of us.
But wait, so Melvin, the thing about it, the one thing that people are missing is that there is definitely something in the Bible that speaks against homosexuality. So now we have a thing to where now it's
third. Oh, go ahead.
So hold up. So again, so now because again we're bringing in clips. So now we have this clip right here because August Alsina had pretty much said that God, the greatest thing that he did was God has showed him different arrays of people or whatever, bull. And then he caught flack because there was a woman named Akbar V who pretty much said that ain't what God said. So here goes the clip for that.
Power that's higher than myself. I always say that the greatest gift that God could have ever given me was exposure, to expose me to so many different kinds of people, places, things. So it's like when people want you to define yourself as whether you're gay, straight, bisexual, or whatever, as you were just talking about, love is like much more complex.
You can't talk Bible to me. You got to be able to really know the Bible to talk Bible to me. You don't know the word. A lot of y'all like to quote scriptures, but don't even live by them. Don't even know them and know the meaning of them. I never judged him. Judge him with saying, oh, you going to hell for that. I never said that. I said, God didn't tell you that. So I asked you, and I challenge you. I asked you, who is your God? Because my God hates sin. It's only one true living God. Y'all don't like the messenger. And a lot of y'all like to downplay it to fix y'all sins. I ain't never been.
All I know is
before you get into it, Melvin, I'm gonna let you get into it. But again, the Bible has clearly stated that that God is against homosexuality. So again, you have some people. Hold on, Melvin. I'm gonna let you get off, but I have to say this. So the thing is that now you have a pastor who is homosexual who has a first husband. And so again, people try to move the goalposts, as Melvin, as Quez would like to say, like to move the goalposts to justify or make right whatever it is that they're doing. But it clearly says in word what this is. So again, the one thing that it does say within Scripture was that we are to love thy neighbor. God hates the sin, not the sinner. So even though the person is committing sin, he hates the sin, but he does not hate the sinner. But there's people who move the goalpost and they try to restructure or remove the word or move the words around to make it justify for their own guilt or whatever it is that they're feeling within themselves to justify whatever it is that they're doing. And so that's what I'm saying as far as it's a bit hypocritical. They try to tie in God and they use and interpret certain things within the Bible to justify whatever it is that they are doing. So now I will let you go. Okay. And then you guys can go.
There are a couple pieces here. Isn't there pastors that have killed people before? Isn't there pastors that have done real heinous acts? One of the worst things you could do is kill somebody, and there's pastors, and nobody's running them down, talking shit on them. We don't see any videos about, oh, you used to be a thug, you used to sell drugs, which helped kill other people. But we don't hear any of that. Oh, look how he changed his life. That's what they say. That's one there. The two is essentially what you just mentioned. Third is people want to say, oh, well, homosexuality is mentioned in the Bible. Okay, once or twice. Love is mentioned in the Bible over 400 and something times. Where's the love in any of that person saying that? All I see is anger, and all I see is hate. There's no acceptance. There's none of that. God talked about love more than anything else. He was the one being persecuted, and he said, okay, I understand that. I'm not going to hate on you. There's no room in my heart for hate. But here we are doing the exact opposite. Oh, abortion. Abortion wasn't even mentioned in the Bible. But here we are, churches hyper focused on specific subjects in society. and not focused on all the other things the Bible says. They're only going to look at one or two things and be like, well, according to the church, it says that the church now, but the church 100 years ago, a church 1,000 years ago, the church from 500 AD isn't the church of today. So we keep thinking like church of today is like church of 500, and they were the closest to when Jesus was alive. So it doesn't make any sense. If you're what you're saying ain't out of love,
What's your
you're not.
argument?
If you're not saying stuff out of love and acceptance, then you're not in keeping with the Bible. Because that's the overall theme of the Bible. That's the overall thing of Jesus is love, peace, acceptance, and believe in him. So if you're not any of that, then how are we just gonna pick and choose what we're mad at you for?
How is it acceptance if you go against his word?
Because we're all sin. We're all sinners.
It's acceptance of people. And like Melvin said, like in the Bible, in the King James Version, because I did my homework, love is mentioned 310 times. In the New Living Translation, it's mentioned 801. So how important is it to love your neighbor? It's very important. You don't have to accept their lifestyle. Why do we keep inserting ourselves in other people's household that don't directly affect yours? If you go to the church and you see a man up there preaching, you find out that he's gay, his gay husband is the first man, your choice. You have the freedom to walk out that church and never step in there again if it goes against your beliefs. Nobody needs to be yelling at people and telling them you don't know the Bible, because we don't know how much of that Bible that person might know, and you might not know any of it. But you're yelling and you're taking the inserts that you probably just read or looked up, and you're yelling at him, and we don't even know. We don't even know if they believe in Jesus, but we're going to throw the Bible at them. We don't know what God they praying to, but we're going to throw the Bible at them.
My biggest
and yelling at them is not showing love. And we're supposed to, like you said, love our neighbors as we love ourselves. We also supposed to devote ourselves to other and love and honor one another above self. Romans 12:10. We're supposed to do above all, love each other. 1 Peter. Like, we need to be. If you're digging your Bible, don't just dig on stuff to sit there and try to damn people to hell, because you're not perfect. How many kids, like Melvin said, how many kids have you had and you haven't been married once? How many times are you out here sleeping with your sneaky link? You're not even in a relationship. You're lying to people. You're cheating. You're stealing. You're doing all this stuff. It does not give you the right to point fingers at somebody else and damn them to hell when you're like one toe out of it. You can't do that.
When I called that lady ugly, I wasn't talking about her appearance.
No,
I was talking about her words.
Spirit.
If you think about it, she's saying God didn't tell him. How does she know what God's gift to that man is?
Whoa. Now that's where I got to step in, because again, it goes against what God has been said. So again, God did not say, "Hey, go sleep with another man." He said, "Hey, you marry this woman, and this is what marriage is."
God didn't say go ahead and have a kid out of wedlock. God didn't say come up and lie.
He did not say that, which is correct. Go ahead, Quest.
Listen, I think this is the problem with people listening in general, because she told you exactly how she felt. Now, the message, the way it came across, might have been wrong, and we can agree on that. It looked like spewed hatred, but she actually said if she was judging him, she would have said, "You're going to hell." But what she was arguing was the fact that that man said God showed him that, in the word, God doesn't say that. That's all. That was her whole argument. Her argument wasn't about how he felt as an individual. She was just saying, don't tell people that God told you this when God never said that. She said, I'm not judging him because I would say you just going to hell. Okay. She didn't come on with that energy. And if you listen to the way she spoke, it seemed as she had already posted something and people started attacking her in the comments, and then she was responding to that fact. It wasn't that her initial response to him was to spew hatred. So that's why I'm saying, like, to pay attention.
My thing is, if he is saying God told him that love is love and that love is whatever it is, and that was the gift God gave to him, who are we to say that, well, my God wouldn't give you that. Okay, then that's your God. Then why are you even speaking on his God?
She said that there's only one God.
She asked him, "Who is your God?"
She said, "Who's your God?" Right.
We have to understand we cannot conflate the issues, and this is the problem.
He said love.
Continue. No, listen, I'm all for love. Like I said, you can't hate the gay out of these people. That's their business. But we also can't allow them to conflate the word of God with their justification for their lifestyle and behavior when the word of God clearly says this is what it is. God can't write something and have it in the word, and then you come back and say, well, he came and we had a separate meeting on the side and he told me this is cool. Those don't go together, and that's what he did.
My thing is
exactly.
My thing is love all the people.
Hold on one second, Melvin.
He can love all the people.
Hold on one second, Melvin.
All the parties and all that shit, and do whatever he wants to, right? Like that's his business. Just like somebody may be looking at me like, how are you gonna talk about God in the Bible and you be cussing? Because I do what the fuck I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And I talk to God the way I talk to him, and that's my personal business. And if you think it's wrong, well, you do it the way you think is okay. But I'm not going.
Hold on. So, Adoration, how are you doing, Adoration? Hello.
Guys, I was sleeping and I was just like, oh my God, there's a show today. So I'm good though.
Yeah, so we had to have an after party today. You know what I'm saying? So we're here. So welcome from Thailand or wherever you're at, Dubai, whatever. Gualo. D says love is love after he already explained in the beginning of the Bible. All right, so now hold on. So Melvin, I know you done got off. So I gotta hear the ladies. I gotta hear Tish, I gotta hear Jess.
Go ahead.
And now we gotta hear Adoration. So go ahead.
All right. So just to clarify, we're talking about Kurt Franklin accepting his son as gay publicly, or exactly?
Well, I mean, yeah, it ties into what we're talking about. We're talking about basically, there was a pastor who was gay who had a first husband.
No, he can.
All right, so I'll play. You're late to the party.
I know.
Next time you just take your alarm because we don't be nearly backtrack.
Play the Alcina. The Alcina one.
Yeah, I'm about to play that. Hey, you don't tell me what the funk to do, Melvin. Wait,
oh my God,
take your $20 to Thailand.
Power that's higher than myself. I always say that the greatest gift that God could have ever given me was exposure, to expose me to so many different kinds of people, places, things. So it's like when people want you to define yourself as whether you're gay, straight, bisexual, or whatever, as you were just talking about, love is like much more complex.
You can't talk Bible to me. You got to be able to really know the Bible to talk Bible to me. You don't know the word. A lot of y'all like to quote scriptures but don't even live by them. Don't even know them and know the meaning of them. I never judged him. Judge him with saying, oh, you going to hell for that. I never said that. I said, God didn't tell you that. So I asked you, and I challenge you. I ask you, who is your God? Because my God hates sin. It's only one true living God. Y'all don't like the messenger. And a lot of y'all like to downplay it to fix y'all sins. I ain't never been.
You know what? My God hates her.
Wait.
My God hates her.
So to be fair, I had to clip that up because she went on a spew that went for 2 minutes. So I had to kind of cut that to get that clip in to make sure to get the point. But I caught the key point of what she was saying because, again, what God says about homosexuality in the Bible, he doesn't contradict himself. And that's the one thing about God. So what she's saying, hold up. So what she is saying is that God did not say that. If the word is the word and that's it, he did not say that. So what you're trying to interpret that to be is what you interpret that to be. But God did not say that clearly in his word. And that's what she's trying to reiterate. She's not saying that, hey, he's going to hell or he's wrong or blah, blah, blah. She's just saying, hey, don't say that God said this and that he's showing you it's okay to be gay and do this, because that's not what he said. So again,
that doesn't even make any sense because it's like he said.
What doesn't make sense, Melvin?
Because when we heard the first video, I'm just going off the video right there. Alcina said,
video.
God gave him the gift to expose him to love all over, and the complexity of love that it is. Period. That's all he said right there. Then she said, I did love.
What he's doing, he's using God to justify his sin. So,
because they asked him
my thing,
about his homosexuality and his bisexual nature. That's what the question was.
So
that's
so
why
my thing is, is it a sin because he's gay when he has sex, when penetration? Is that when the sin occurs? Because then on a daily basis, there's a lot of motherfuckers out here that are sinning 100,000 times more than him.
Yes.
Right, but we're not saying that God
but
said
then
it
why
was
are we
okay.
hyper focused on him? Then?
Because we're
if
not
there
blaming
were
it on
sinners
God.
than him,
But
because
listen,
that's
Melvin,
what God told. That's what God told him.
Melvin,
that's what God told him.
You have to be logical in your
God
terms,
said, "Follow
right?
Bernie Bush for 40 years."
I'm not the best Christian on this panel, and I will never claim to be. But I'm not gonna get up here and just talk just to be talking, right? I'm not gonna justify my bullshit and say, well, shit, God said it was cool that sometimes I gotta cuss you niggas out because
God never
flipped over some churches in the tabernacle, and sometimes Jesus get mad and he went over there and flipped them tables over in the tabernacle. So when you niggas try me, it's okay to put a hot one in your ass. I'm never gonna use that for justification for my sinly flesh, right? So what she's saying is, if you say, hey, look, this is my definition of love, you know what I mean? And this is how I feel love should be interpreted, that's one thing. But when you put God in front of that, God said, or God showed me that this was okay and acceptable, you're fucking lying. Because God specifically said homosexuality is a blatant sin. We don't lie and say, hey, God said it was okay not to tell you the truth this time.
All right, these are quick questions. Quick question. Did God tell Samson to kill 1,000 people with a donkey jaw? Is killing one of the most mortal sins? Is there not a contradiction there? Wait, did God not tell David to kill Goliath? The keyword there, kill.
Yeah, but Melvin,
But God spoke to those people.
Okay.
Melvin, there's a difference.
Hold on, adoration. Let him finish.
Matters, Melvin. Hold on, third. Context matters, sir. The reason why God told David to slay Goliath was because Goliath was a fucking heathen and said your God didn't exist. The reason why Samson would murder those people with them bones because they were challenging the faith. So God chose these individuals to prove his power and might. You can't use that as justification for a nigga shooting Ray down the street. Those are not the same things.
All right, so hold on. One second, Melvin, hold that thought. I'm gonna let you rebut. So adoration, because you're getting ready to get you just came in from waking up in Thailand. Go ahead.
Okay, so
wait, adoration before you get in. So Alexandria says she's right about all sin, whether you're gay or fornicating or a habitual liar or you covet, etc. God will never give you justification for sin. God is not a man that you should lie.
Agreed.
So go ahead. Go ahead, adoration.
Okay, so I was just gonna say to Melvin's point real quick about the killing and stuff like that. What those people were doing is clearly, very obviously self-defense. Now, it's not immediate self-defense like we call it, but they're at war. Okay, their places, as you know, were under siege by those places. They were either it was a kill or be killed situation. You win and you become their slaves, or they win or you become their slaves, or you win. That was how it worked back in the day. So war is a completely different context. Because
not all the people in the Colosseum when Samson turned it down. All the people that were killed when Samson
what were they doing with them, Melvin? If
they were watching it. They were watching the sin.
If somebody locked you up and was torturing you, popped your eyes out, and was going to be torturing the people, that's called war.
That's one person. That is
yes.
But there was a lot of people that could have just been there.
Yeah, but Melvin, that was never at war.
He still killed.
Let me go to the point, though.
Melvin, let me ask you a question.
That's called
if you were a slave on a plantation, Melvin, and you watched this man mutilate, rape, and molest your sisters, brothers, your mama, your grandma, you know what I'm saying? And the only way you could free yourself from this situation was to eliminate this person.
Mm-hmm. And he eliminated a lot
you
of them
knew
at one time.
that it was against God's will for you to even be in this predicament to begin with. Is that the same thing as me walking into a grocery store and shooting somebody on aisle 7? Are those the same thing?
No, it's not.
Then.
But how?
So
but how?
Look at it
how,
objectively
okay,
from
but
there.
how can you say God didn't speak to him?
Now listen.
Didn't speak to who?
But do you know? Can you say that for 100% fact God didn't speak to him?
Speak to who?
Alcina said, God's greatest gift to me, what he gave to me is this. And so if the lady said, God didn't speak to you. God did not speak to you. So my point is,
unequivocally say yes, God didn't give you that.
Okay.
All right. So what it says right here. Thank you, D. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna let you get in. Hold on real quick. So thank you, D, for giving the actual scripture. So it says in Leviticus 18, 20:22, do not have sexual relations with a man as one does with a woman. That is detestable. So,
and that's not the only scripture, actually.
Word.
But that's a really good one.
All right, and it says, don't lust over that thy neighbor's wife.
So go ahead.
We
Go
have
ahead,
a whole
Teach.
Instagram ID.
Hey, hold on. Let Teach get in.
I'm going off of all of y'all comments about the August, whatever his name,
Alcina.
Okay. So technically, in the clip we saw, he did not say that the scripture told that God told him to go sleep with all these men. That is not what he said. What he said was he opened his eyes to all the different types of love that's out there. That's what he said, which can possibly be God spoke to him and showed him the complexity of how love works. Because it took a while for me being Christian, and me and my dad spoke. Remember, my dad's my pastor. It took a while for him to get the concept that you can still love somebody even though their lifestyle is different. So that could, and I'm not saying that's his, but I'm saying that's how it can be perceived. However, again, I'm also like, why do we keep inserting if he's not willing to, everybody's, like we said it before, everybody's interpretation of the Bible is different. We done said that several times. And the only person that's accountable for their interpretation when he meets God, he's going to have to explain to God how that interpretation was to him. And it does not affect any of our pathways to heaven. None. That's why I say sometimes we insert ourselves. Like, it's okay to provide guidance to someone you love and you want them, we're all as Christians are supposed to tell them about God and about Jesus. We're supposed to. That's our job. But our job is not to force it. So at the end of the day, when God comes in and takes us all to meet him, we're going to have to be accountable for how we interpret it, how we treat others. How we treat others is one other thing we're going to have to be accountable for. That's why I said I do not sit here and cast judgment and be like, oh, you sin and oh, you this, because I know what I've done. I know my life and what I've done. And I don't want somebody throwing back a past at me that has been corrected. And who knows? We don't know anybody's life path. Today, he might say, yes, I love sleeping with men, but he can find himself married to a female. Whatever.
I love women.
That's
women.
Why do we
So hold on. So D. Taylor says that's why there's Bible study offered to understand. And then also too, Alexandria says God didn't always speak in parables. Not all is up to interpretation. A lot of what God says is explicit.
Yeah, but other people.
Teach. I'll let you get off, Teach. I'll let you get off. So again, what you said is I agree with what you said. A lot of what you said. Now the thing is so when you have people forcing their interpretation, and it could be a wrong interpretation, and to these people and leading them into damnation, that becomes the problem.
So no one has freedom of choice. No one. Y'all should be. It's even said you need to go back and read that Bible for yourself. Everything that comes off the pulpit These are human beings. That's not
That
Jesus
part.
up there talking to you. These are human beings who sin just the way everybody in the congregation does. So
It's
how
your
do we
job
put
to
that
have a relationship with
Thank
God.
you. Your
It's
your
your
relationship
job.
with God is yours, and you need to go back and reread that. Pray on it before you reread that, and ask Him to show you the meaning if it's hard for you to understand.
Right.
We can't put that accountability on these people
Right,
running the
and-
church because they are human beings.
But listen, Tish, I understand what you're saying, right? And you know, just for sake of the show, because I know you're talking to the people, you're not talking to us. You know what I mean? Outside of the show, none of us really give a damn. Either way.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Like, let's just get that understood. Like we're
Agreed.
only arguing the fact because it's a topic of discussion on the show.
Agreed.
Like really, we don't. For the people viewing in that atmosphere, like we really don't give a damn about what August Alsina is doing after he done slept with Jada and all the shit he done with his life. That has nothing to do with
me.
You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't a topic, you wouldn't hear me speak about this outside of the show. We're just discussing.
You probably had some will too.
Because like she said, there's so many individuals on social media that are fully invested in other people's lives, and they spend time, hours reading comments and commenting and reposting and doing all of that type of nonsense, right? But we put together a show just so we could discuss it, have different points of view, thoughts, views, and opinions, as the show says. But I mean, when it's all said and done, what she said is absolutely correct. When you get to the gate, if there is a gate, you know, however you feel, if there ain't no gate and there ain't no God, whatever the case may be, that's your battle to fight. And I'm gonna do what I need to do over here on my side, and hopefully you make it and do whatever it is you need to do. And I'm working every day to do what I need to do. We genuinely don't care that much. But this is a production, so we do have to have these discussions. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, do what you do. Just don't.
Thank you, Wesley Snipes, for that.
Well said.
Right.
And to back with the interpretation, a lot of things in there that the Bible speaks on. It hit straight out wording, hits me like a knife. Like there's no interpretation, it's straight. But you have to also remember too, people how they read it, they interpret it however they're going to interpret it. So it can be as clear as day, but they'll still switch it up. So like I said, and in Bible study too, we have to remember too, there's Bible studies, yes, but who's running these Bible studies? Like you still need to get back in your word and make sure that everything that this person is teaching you is being backed by the words in the Bible. You can't take it for face value.
And then talk to God yourself.
Right.
Don't
And
just
then as
take it.
Christians,
People are lazy. That's the problem. You don't want to read.
No one wants to read
You
the
don't
Bible.
want to study.
Right.
You
And
don't
talk
want to
not to read the
consecrate
Bible.
and talk to God. You don't want to pray.
You know
and
why
then
a lot
sit
of people
and
don't
listen.
want to read the Bible?
Niggas is
Because
lazy.
it's a mirror. Because it's a mirror.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I feel like
Exactly,
as a
Tish. All right, so
Why are we
Adoration,
always
you were getting
trying
ready to
to-
say something. So, Adoration, what were you getting ready to say?
I was gonna say, I feel like also another thing that I talk to my missionary friends a lot is I feel like as Christians, everybody wants to be like, oh, I'm doing right. Like what I'm doing is right. Stop trying to justify what you do. I'm just being honest. We don't have to be running around
I
to
don't
be like,
trust
oh, this is what I'm doing, so therefore it has to be right because I can't be caught doing wrong. I'm a Christian. The whole point of Christianity is God saving you from your sin. If you can't accept that you're a sinner, I dare say that you're not really accepting that you're a Christian. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
If you are seeing, the Bible says, "Let God be true."
You better say that shit again.
That goes for me too.
I don't like missionaries at all. I barely like missionary position, so I don't even like missionaries.
I can't stand you.
Well, the Bible says, the Bible tells us to go.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. I barely
It's
like.
okay for Melvin to do because he's married. So
I barely like it.
$20 is $20.
Yeah, but $20, I don't know.
$20 is $20. You know?
Oh gosh.
I got bad hips now. I ain't trying to mess around.
God, Jesus Christ.
Oh gosh.
The blood of Jesus, Melvin. Blood of Jesus.
I can't stand y'all.
But Adoration, Melvin is married, so you know.
Well, what does that mean?
He just
This is
sins in different
2024.
ways.
Yeah.
Hey, God could have told him he's married and it's okay to cheat on his wife.
God
Because
told
she
me
ain't
that
giving
I can have
No,
three sneaky
but
links.
it clearly
That's what
says in
God
the
Right.
Bible.
Like Alexandria said, I
clearly
mean, come
said-
on now, we're not doing
It
all
said
that.
it said
It's
in the
black
Bible
and
that
white.
it said that
$20
Eve was
is
made
$20.
out of the rib, and that's why God gave us 7 other ribs so I can get 7 other Eves. That's
Yeah.
just what I'm
What
throwing.
the fuck?
That's what I'm throwing out there. You know.
There
We
you
putting
have
that
it.
out there because you're gonna get 7 others.
Proof in the pudding, right
Yeah.
there. That your
Hey, they
interpretation
said
can
Eve
run
was a rib,
way left
and they
field,
gave us
out of
8
nowhere.
ribs.
You know what I'm saying?
They gave us 8 ribs. Where is
See
my
how
8th
interpretation is done?
That is,
That's how
man.
interpretation can mess up your
Even the word
Hey,
rib.
to be a pastor,
There's words should
to
have
be
been
a pastor,
blasphemy.
all you have to do is get a building and get some people to follow you. That's
Eve
why
was
I
a.
don't.
Hey, am I
don't
wrong? Eve was
attain
a
to the
rib.
fact. Hold on, I don't attain to the fact that people call themselves pastors because you know what I mean. There's a lot of people that could just show up to a building.
There you go. I
People
agree with
follow
that.
them,
That's
be
why
a
you go
pastor.
back and
You know what I mean?
100%.
That don't mean shit at the end of the day. I
It
put a
don't.
little more respect on bishops. That's why I was bothered by the first clip because that man was a bishop and you have to go to school and seminary, you know what I'm saying, and get credentials and then people
Bishop Jamal Bryant,
people
my
bishops got to
ex-pastor.
be appointed. You know what I'm saying? So that means it's not only that you feel this is okay, that means there's a conglomerate of individuals that think what you're doing is okay. And that was my problem with the bishop. If he was just a pastor, I don't give a damn. Walk out their church. But when you say bishop, that means there's a whole bunch of people that thought this was acceptable, that know the Bible and studied it for years. You know what I'm saying? And they still came up with the conclusion that that was okay. So you can't believe the Pope. But
they made the Pope the Pope after he was a Nazi youth. He was a Nazi
and
youth.
I don't respect
and they made him a
him
Pope.
either.
They made so it's like, hey, and that was Catholicism been around since Jesus too. So come on now, if you say I don't support this, but it's all tied together.
No,
it's not.
It is all tied together.
Slow down.
It came after
Y'all
Jesus.
got the Pharisees and the Sadducees.
It's all
the
tied
ones
together.
that Jesus was
It's
always
all
attacking were the
interpretation,
high
right?
priest, right?
It's all interpretation, right?
So
how
the
do we
comments ain't showing up from
How do-
Facebook on the thing, but D says, Melvin, you're going to hell tomorrow night.
Hey man, I'll go today. I'll go today.
No, the funk you don't want to go. Trust me.
I'll go today. I'll say Jesus see you when you get back.
You
nigga.
good because we can't send you there, so you good.
Yeah, I know. I don't care. I'll
We
go
can't get
today.
you
I am in hell.
That's between you and God.
Oh, it can be hard.
Absolutely.
I'm there right now. Shit.
I can kind of agree with that. I'll give you that one, Barry.
We're on Earth. The Earth is hell compared
I'm
to
about
what we're
to go
supposed
get-
to have.
What's them little cricket pastors that be on TV selling the holy water? About to go buy some and pour some in the tub and take a
Pastor
deep
Popoff.
cleanse.
I think it's Popoff.
Peter Popoff.
Or what about the ones selling real estate in heaven?
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
$100 for real estate in heaven. Hey, everybody has a hustle.
People be like, "You're Christian." I'd be like, "Not that Christian."
See,
I'm Jesus Christian. Yeah, I don't know.
and in their mind, they think they're doing God's will.
No, they're not. They know deep down they're
think
not
they
doing no
just getting
damn
money,
God's
exactly.
will.
People are delusional. People are delusional. People need help. That's the whole moral of this thing. Everybody's God talks to them differently, and a lot of people are fucked up. A lot of people believe in wrong shit. A lot of people believe in things that don't make any sense. But we're all people, so
yeah, like believing
More-
God talks to them differently. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say I believe God speaks to everyone. It's just that how you receiving that message and how you understand it is different.
Mm-hmm.
So it
And
might have
some
been
people
message
just
to him, but it was just distorted. Like he took it another way when it wasn't supposed to be that way. How do we know?
Hey, you know, honestly, what happens is people, and I tell this to my business partners a lot. I tell them, I say, you know, you sit down and you ask God, what should I do in the next chapter of my life when you run into an issue and you are struggling with something? You ask God, and before he can answer you, you jump up like, oh shit, I figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you blame it on God when the shit don't work. because you didn't sit down long enough to allow that to formulate and then give you the right path. But because you so impatient and you so goddamn smart that you done jumped up like, oh shit, I got it. It must be God because I just thought of it. No, you thought out of your flesh and your sinly mind. And you're so sometimes you need to sit down, shut up, and let God give you the path. You know what I mean? And I'm guilty of it too. That's the reason why I can say it, because I've done it.
We're all guilty of it.
You know what I'm saying? I did it way too many times because I'm an intelligent dumb nigga.
All right.
But sometimes I think it's the devil that is.
No, the devil don't bother people who ain't got shit going on.
No, I think it's Big Bird.
I haven't said anything yet.
Go ahead.
Still waiting.
Go ahead, Jess.
Go ahead, Jess, with your Lakers jersey. You know what I mean?
Kobe Day.
Kobe.
24/24.
Kobe.
Black Mamba. Okay, so
that's what
God, Melvin. I know you said that the church is different today, but God is the same today, yesterday, always, no matter what.
Not the scriptures.
No matter what.
Not the scriptures. The
scriptures are the
so
same.
So all the
today,
scriptures
always.
are in the Bible.
Melvin, let her go.
All the scriptures are in the Bible. Some were taken out.
Some were taken out, but it's your responsibility to gather that information for yourself. It is your responsibility to have a relationship with God and to pray and allow him to speak to you. So that means staying off of social media, because guess what? That clouds your mind. You have to have one-on-one time. That is a relationship. So
the scripture is different.
I just want y'all to know we're getting canceled today.
Because that's why there's a King James version, right? How long you think?
No, wait. Now I got to jump in, Melvin. So the reason why there's a King
words don't always
I will mute everybody.
Go back and forth.
The reason why there's a King James version is because of the times as far as the language. Because again, when things were written out, they're written out in Hebrew. They got translated to Greek. They got translated to Latin. They got translated to whatever. So it's a King James version because of the time frame of where it was. So that's why you have the dost thou, so thou, because of the interpretation. But the message is still the message. And
does every word in English transfer over to Spanish?
Huh?
Does every word
from English, because not all words from Aramaic, which is what Jesus spoke, is going to be transferred over to English.
So
there may be words that are similar, words that we can understand, but if you want to get the actual scriptures, which you're talking about, then you need to speak the language that Jesus spoke. If not, it's going to be a little different. Say that's not true. It's impossible. So then it's not exactly the scripture, right? If you're talking about the word of God, you would want the exact scriptures.
Out of here.
It sounds like you can always take a trip to the Vatican because they have that. So
they have a lot of pedos over here.
And take your ass to the Vatican because they have them all up there.
I'm not worried about it.
You can get you an Ethiopian Bible, which is the oldest Bible known on this planet.
You can translate it yourself.
That you can read.
And if we don't read that one, then what are we talking about?
Or you can just talk to God, Melvin, and ask him what you should do with the purpose in your life.
Because
that's all I do. That's all I honestly do.
You don't talk to God,
Melvin. All right.
I do.
So one more thing.
You talking to toes, nigga. You talking to toes. You don't be talking to God.
God tells me that toes are good, and he said the devil saved Trump. It wasn't him.
Say what you gonna say.
The devil saved Trump.
Hey, you guys.
Just trying to talk.
Wait, you guys. Hush now. Jessica, go ahead.
One more thing, and that's it. Because I ain't got much time. So what Quest said, they may be appointed, but they are not anointed.
Oh, but shit, drop bars on them.
Amen. Amen.
With the third bars, you know what I'm saying? Shit.
That's my own bars.
And then
next release is the third gonna release a gospel album next month. Don't worry about it. We're working on that.
But to answer what Jess just said, I know people that were anointed, but then just decided, just like Saul in the Bible, start talking can I say it? Bullshit. Start being evil. I know a guy, my ex-pastor, who's now a bishop. I went to his church. I know all the scandals, all the stuff he did. The 14-year-old he slept with turned around after she told him and said, these hoes ain't loyal. Bishop right now. So we can't be idolizing
I don't think
people.
you're providing a good case for the church right now. You know
Her point was we can't be idolizing human beings who are bound to make mistakes.
I'm just trying to throw that out there.
What human
Put
beings
these people on
say,
pedestals
what their
and then get
interpretation of the
shocked when they
Bible
make
is.
mistakes.
Yes, Tisha. Or they just evil. Sometimes, I mean, Saul wasn't making mistakes. He just decided, you know what? Fuck you, God. I'm gonna do me. You know, I'm gonna kill some people, and that's what he was gonna do. And God was like, okay, I turned my back on him. Now everybody turn your back on him too. And people were like, no, I don't want to turn my back on him, God. You anointed him. And God was like, I don't like him.
I'm glad you're forgiving God, because I could be evil. I ain't killing nobody, but I could be evil.
Exactly.
Word. So
he's a forgiving God.
So I'm glad you're forgiving
So
God.
what? Man.
I'm just saying what it says.
Get out of the comments, sir. Get out of the comments. You know what I'm saying?
With the comments.
Get out of the comments, man. But no, listen, man. That is a very noble point. Man.
Wait,
You know
Jesus
what I
said
mean?
what? I gotta see that.
Life is a journey. You know what I mean?
Jesus said the devil saved Trump. That one was on him. What?
All right.
Stuck in the daily grind? Let's change that starting now. Imagine waking up every morning excited about what lies ahead. No more dreading the 9-to-5 grind. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it doesn't have to be. In just 9 years, over 115,000 entrepreneurs in more than 20 countries have taken the leap. They've joined a movement that's not just about making money, but about turning passion into purpose. What's stopping you from being next? Think about it. What are you passionate about? What gets you fired up? Picture turning that passion into a thriving business. Not only will you empower yourself, but you'll also uplift those you care about most. Imagine the impact you can make. Your journey could be the chapter that adds to the legacy of the future. It's not just about you. It's about creating a ripple effect that touches lives far and wide. What will your story be? Don't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. The time to act is now. The future is in your hands. Ready to start your entrepreneurial journey? Contact us now. Let's build a future you're excited to wake up to. Empower your future. Become an entrepreneur today.
Beautiful.
All right. So that was a perfect segue.
Man, way to back out gracefully.
Need a break.
Good shit. Good shit. You know what I'm saying?
So we have open mic for the next
in the name
11
of God.
minutes. Actually 10 minutes. So we have an open mic. Anything you guys want to bring up and talk
I have a question though. The girl that was going off on August, what was her name?
Akbar V.
Is that the same one that said she got a letter from Trump for her birthday? He
I'm
sent
not
her a
sure.
letter and a MAGA hat?
Was it her or was it?
I think it's the same.
Put it in the group chat.
Yeah, please.
Sounds about right.
I want to see it.
Sounds about white.
Yeah, we need to find out for next week's show. So drop it in the group
If anybody knows out there, please let me know. But the names sound familiar. So I don't know who
Put
she
it in the chat, 'cause I need to look it
follow
up.
her and all that stuff, but the name sounds familiar.
I don't care about
So because she got a letter from Trump, does that negate the fact that where she said that God did not say that?
I didn't say
Especially-
that.
especially
I
what
asked who she
said-
was. That's all I
Especially
get.
what
Don't
she
put words in
said
my
as far
mouth.
as within the Bible, as far
Don't
as
put words in my mouth.
I know you did not say that. I know you did not say
quick-ass
that.
open mic, wasn't it? That was a quick
I just want to know if it was that same person. That's all I asked.
Hey,
Don't do that.
He ain't no Christian, so why are you supporting him as
So
a
yeah,
leader?
so I just googled it right now and it says that yeah, she did receive a letter from Trump. But that's Trump trying to recruit her for the Amber Roses, the bald headed Amber Roses,
Of course.
Candace
So-
Owens, you know what I'm saying, all the other
You need all the
coons wanna tap
homophobic
dance for
Christians
Trump.
to attack. All the homophobic Christians unite. Let's go.
Thank you.
That-
I just wanted
that-
to make sure.
that's
because
the Trump call. Is just
Why do I show up to this every week? Somebody
Because of
explain
this.
that.
Because of this.
So you can talk.
Man, I done bought a shirt and everything. I'm starting to second guess my life now.
Too late. It's blood in, blood out. You have to fight
You
your way.
motherfuckers finna drag me into the dirt with you.
Well, don't act like you don't come on here excited and talk.
You ain't going nowhere. It's a game.
Y'all finna drag me into the dirt with you. No thanks.
If you want some merch, go to king3rd.com. Get the merch. Get the DY3 merch. Yeah, you know what? I feel you, question. I can't stand some of these niggas too.
And
drop your 3
stand
cents.
us since you found out that you was 77 and the rest of us are in the 80 percentile.
Yeah,
that's why Trump's gonna send your black ass back to Africa with your 80-some%.
I wasn't born in Africa. My ancestors were.
Now you starting to sound like Kanye.
Well, he's sending you back.
He's starting to sound like Kanye over there.
He gonna send your ass. You know what I'm saying? Since you
remember, you the king of Zamunda. He gonna send you back.
Take your princely ass back over there.
Don't
to
do
your
that.
shithole country. Sir.
Whack Arnold.
I was talking to Teach. I wasn't talking to the dark galaxy over there. You know what I'm saying?
Right back to your shithole country.
This nigga's over here leaving fingerprints on chalk, on on tar. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody was talking to you.
All I'm gonna keep saying is 77.
That's it. You know what I mean? You can't really argue that. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't even be talking to me.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like we are in a different
They not like us.
They're not like us. That's right.
Liz, you are my favorite phone, the Galaxy.
Yeah, I sure am, because when you look up, you see a star, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Who are you talking to? You know what I mean? That is
Melinda
me, sir.
tonight.
It's got to be dark out so that you know that it's a full 80% type of night.
Word. I'm gonna need a 77% flashlight to see your
get it every
motherfucking
night. When they reach that 80th percent, then yeah, the stars come out. You know
the darker the sky, the brighter the star.
My brother.
The darker the sky, the brighter the stars.
Yeah, that's it, baby.
I can't.
Make sure all your joints and shit is strong and well protected. Man. You know what I'm saying? Get your life right for Christ. You know what I'm saying? And on that note, this show has been sponsored by Blasphemy from Melvin. And
Amen. Amen.
And $20 is $20. You know what I mean? No matter what it's about. You know what I mean?
I got to apologize to the Facebook crew. So to the Facebook people who are commenting, Facebook is not posting your comments for whatever reason. I don't know why. But so shout out to Alexandria. She said, period, Quez. You know what I'm saying? And D was asking, so the DNC, you know, we want to talk about the Democratic National Convention, but we done ran out of time. So, you know,
fucking around with these heathens.
Yeah, nothing wrong. You gotta sin to win.
Heathens, boy.
Yeah, you gotta sin to win. You gotta sin to win.
Look how the devil just used you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
He moved in next door. Oh, shit, that nigga moved in next door.
Hey, man,
that's your neighbor.
That's my neighbor.
That's your neighbor.
I'm about to borrow some sugar.
Man, he ain't your neighbor. He's your roommate. Goddamn, shut up.
Hey,
Let
me borrow some sugar. I gotta put him on the toes.
That man got a pallet in your living room on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Go next door. He's in your space.
He's right there listening to us.
If he willing to pay rent, he could come. If that nigga paying rent, he could come. Shit, rent is high. I got 2 mortgages. I got 2 mortgages. If he willing to split it, we can go halves on it.
I feel like
so for the people who keep trying to recruit me into the Illuminati, maybe you may want to go hit up Toes in his inbox.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
don't come for me because it ain't happening.
Man, I ain't got
I'll ignore
my credit ain't good. Don't come over here.
Yeah, right.
Insufficient funds, and I don't need no more. I'm saying I'm broke with money. Don't mind me.
Man, so all right. On that note, we're gonna end it just a little bit early. It's like, who the fuck got the police out
y'all
there?
got going on? Yeah, all right, I'm out of here. You just don't see no.
The police over here ain't dangerous like y'all.
That's
man, hey, you saw Quez had the bone out.
Yeah.
That's just sad.
You got
That's just
You
sad.
saw Quez at the moment now. You're like, oh well, they coming for me.
Hey, look, I
Things
don't know
are
what y'all
coming.
got going on. I ain't
I don't
see
blame
shit. I don't know shit. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
Things
when
are
I'm in
coming,
America,
boss.
I'm just like that.
Adoration did it.
Sirens,
That's
I'm
all
out.
I
But
gotta
it's not
say.
like that over here.
Adoration did it.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
don't
like
know
that
what
over
y'all
here,
got
y'all.
cracking.
Adoration
I'm
did it.
not a
There's no
part of
extradition in Taiwan, so adoration did it.
Damn.
I mean,
Not it.
yeah, but we don't.
Yeah, you do got that red bandana on and shit, man. What
I
you over
know.
But
there? You Sue hooping.
listen,
Sue
and
hooping
I
over
can't.
there. What you got going on, man?
I can't over here.
No.
We don't have
Yeah.
that police problems over here, y'all. Y'all
You
got
said
You
they
bringing
call it
it
the
over
red
there.
light district for a reason. You know what
all
I'm
that
saying?
Yep.
PTSD you
It's
get
all
from
red
America.
over here.
You gotta get out.
Mm-mm.
I gotta get
Yeah,
out.
they have PTSD in Taiwan. They're about to get taken over by China.
Oh
What are you
man, that
talking
part.
about?
Okay, I'm gonna give you that one. Though.
That the whole nation is ready
I'm gonna
for
give you that one.
a
Like,
war that
this
would take
never,
over the
this is
whole
never gonna
country.
happen. Then one day they'd be like, you know what? It could. I'm just like, y'all not scared. Like,
Exactly.
maybe.
There's
Yeah,
so much
that part.
PTSD on
Why
that
are y'all
whole
over
thing.
there? Why are you over
Say
there?
what?
Why are you there?
Being missionaries.
It's better than America.
I can't with y'all. Y'all are so
Y'all crazy. No, it's
Missionaries.
better than America. You're not dying every day.
Spreading hate
No,
and discontent. Spreading hate
I
and
ain't coming back.
discontent over
Adoration,
there.
have you noticed we show up every week? Ain't none of us died.
Yeah, but
Yep.
then y'all be like,
Still,
remember that?
black people is
Remember
dying
that
every
first
day.
drive-by?
Adoration's there
We have
spreading
to make
hate
it
and
back every
discontent.
Friday and
We don't
Saturday.
I don't have drive-bys in my area.
I'm
Me
friends with my
either.
friend. They
Me
respect it.
either.
Like, no, I'm like, you gotta watch the show. I'm telling you.
My
Like,
property
no way.
tax
Y'all
is too
lying.
damn high for no damn
Right.
drive-by.
Hey, the people over here
I
be
don't
listening
pay
to the
for
rap
all this
songs
damn
like
Belarus
it's
and
all
all this
fake.
shit for a drive-by.
Yeah,
Nope.
nah.
Everybody
Yeah.
not living that way.
Nope.
Plus, if it happens so often, it's like
Remember D talking about the lightning bugs? Like it was funny.
No.
Right.
Ain't no drive-bys. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
hey, this has been a good
Yeah,
one,
we
y'all.
good.
I
We
appreciate
show
you for
up at
coming
like
through
Quest
to
and we
drop
show
your
up. We
3
good.
cents. And this has been a good one, y'all. So thank you for coming through. And if you're on YouTube, hit the share, subscribe, and the notify button. If you're on
Grab the
Facebook,
merch.
hit the share. And like Quez is
Grab some
saying, if you
merch.
grab the merch, drop your 3 cent podcast, saying king3rd.com or drop your 3cent.com. And, and with that being said, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next Friday, and we are out of here. Peace.
Peace.